Good morning. That takes a little while. Something just glitched, and we fixed the glitch. I do believe. Good morning. It is Monday, and we are back at it. Your chance to jump into a million different things this morning, of course, is your opportunity. As it is the 29th of September, we're 90 days out from December 28th. So in the last couple of days, it happened. Beautiful downtown Christmas came and went. We're 90 days out from December 28th. We are perilously close to the start of the fourth quarter, which puts us 90 days out from Q1. Some people like to call it Q5, so it doesn't feel like they're starting a new year, but it is going to be Q1. And this is why we always talk about 90 days out. It's just important to understand that whatever you're doing today is going to have an effect in your business in 90 days. Usually, certainly in the real estate industry, the correlation between your activities 90 days out and what your results are, or what you're experiencing in the next 90 days, drawn to a 90-day window if we're going from kitchen table to closing table. And that's why we always discuss it. Now, conversely, if you're like, hey, you know what? I'm having a good week this week. You can go back and say, hey, what was I doing 90 days ago to cause this? Or if you have a barren week, if you have a week where you don't have any closings, or it's been a few weeks since you've had a few closings, you could go back 90 days and say, hey, what was my face doing or not doing? It's that simple. That's why tracking is so important. And that's why it's important to take the advantage of a Monday and be like, you know what? I'm just going to start fresh. Here we are. It's Monday, and I'm going to be a brand new person. Is it Confucius? It certainly wasn't me. I do believe Confucius said the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. So you can pivot every single day. Every single day. Your journey is a myriad of micro transitions, right? Like you're just by a fraction of a degree, you make a slight change, and then you bear that out over the years. And where will it get you? That's the thought process. That's why we discuss what's on the calendar every morning, and make sure that you understand, hey, here at the Market Center and through the magic of Keller TV or one of the many Zoom channels, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on today. As we get out of here at 9 o'clock, always Monday through Friday, we have Fight Club. It is from 9 to 11. It's your opportunity to just make sure that you're setting time apart. If your calendar doesn't have the discipline that it requires yet, right? And nobody wants to hear the word discipline. I know we hear the word discipline and we're like we immediately, like if you went to parochial school, you're like, oh God, Sister Mary Margaret, she's going to hit me with the ruler again. Not that she ever did that. It was a bat. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Maybe I'm kidding. Anyway, she was wonderful. When we hear discipline, it's got a negative connotation. Discipline, we will not, you hold a discipline long enough to create a habit. Can you be disciplined enough to create a habit? And that's what the one thing is all about. Gary's book, The One Thing, what is the one thing that I could do that such by doing everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? And his contention is that in that book is that it takes 66 days to create a habit. Unbroken, right? If you go to theonething.com, you can get a calendar to hang on your fridge. And you're like, that seems weird. Do it. And just focus on doing one positive thing for the next 66 days. And I promise you this, adults love gold stars. Now, here's the challenge. And this is just like, you've probably got a friend that's done 75 hard, right? 2 workouts a day. One has to be outside. I believe it's 10 pages of nonfiction reading, alcohol free, any nutrition plan. You know, you have to do a self-assessment picture every day so you can see the progress over time. And if you break it, you start 75 days over again. It's the same mentality. They're asking you to hold the discipline to create a habit. So what is one small thing? We ask this all the time. What is the thing that I do every day that if I stopped doing it, no one would notice? Because there are some things that we do. There are some things in our calendar that make us feel good, that make us feel accomplished, that make us feel busy. And yet, It's not moving the needle. We were at a fantastic event last week, and one of the best MAPS coaches on the planet, Matt Teeter, challenged everybody to think about, like, we go to these masterminds, and if you've ever been in a production mastermind or our production masterminds that we have on Mondays, any conversation with your peers, and invariably this happens, right? You've always got that person sitting at the table and they talk about all the stuff that they're doing. Well, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. Yes. And is it helping you reach your goals? Or does it just feel good? And I'm not saying that we shouldn't have things that we do to accomplish our goals that we enjoy. That is the goal of all this. Can we find the corner of the sandbox that we play in best and we thrive in? That's the arc. That's what we're looking for. But don't get caught up. And we hear this all the time. These people that have, I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. And I took this and I'm making it work for me. So now I'm teaching a class and it's only $600. I'm picking on some people. I apologize. I don't apologize. We've got very talented people in our ecosystem right here at 463 that are doing great things, that are openly teaching what they're doing. And yes, they're doing their version of it, but they will point back to the Red Book. They will point back to Shift. Soon they'll point back to Jay's new book. I'm pointing to it. It's over here. I know you can't see it. The Rookie Real Estate Agent, which is ultimately Ignite sprung to life. So what is it that you're doing every day that if you didn't do it today, it wouldn't negatively impact your business? And conversely, now flip that coin. What could you do today that you haven't been doing that could? And what form might it take during the hours of 9 to 11 if you joined us at Fight Club? KWFightClub.com, Monday through Friday, 9 to 11. Also today at 9 o'clock on the Zooms with the Sean Cody, one of our members of the 2025 Associate Leadership Council. He's our land ambassador. We haven't got him to wear a 12-gallon hat yet. We're working on it. The Sean Cody, licensed in Maine, Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. Wildly talented. Everybody, he cut his hockey hair, so some of the girls are heartbroken, but he used to have the hockey hair. Now it's mid now. It's back. It's not the hockey hair. We miss the hockey hair. We want it back, Sean. Sean will be in the room. KWikStart.com. The link for that is in the morning news. KWikStart.com. Strengthening Relationships is your session today at 9 o'clock with the Sean Cody. So that's also at 9 o'clock. You can go do lead gen or go learn about strengthening relationships. Which, guess what you do to do that? You talk to people. You ask them about them. And you find out about their dreams and their goals. And then you help them. And it doesn't always have to be real estate related. And you'll hear that today from Sean. Today at 1 o'clock, Midday Protocol. Mondays through Fridays at 1, we get together, we talk about what we did or didn't do. Maybe some of the challenges we're having, some of the successes that we're meeting with. And we share so others can learn from us. And then we're talking about the tactics in Shift. We'll do that today. Your 3 lead indicators. We're going to talk about your conversations, your appointments, and your contracts. And then we'll talk about the tactics of Shift. That's today at 1 o'clock, timsoffice.com. Join us for that conversation. At 1:30, the unprecedented access to your brokers continues. It is Monday at 1:30 on Keller TV. You always get a chance to sit with Westcott and Heaney and talk about all the things that might have happened over the weekend, the pressing question that hit you last night at 11:30, and you're like, I can ask tomorrow. Ask the brokers. KellerTV.com today at 1:30. At 2:30, you asked for more. You said, I want to be at a brokerage that delivers. At 2:30, your regional tech trainer, Maggie McDowell, Tech Your Business to the Next Level. The link to register for today's session is right in the morning news. So just before 2:30, you click that link and you'll get zoomed into the room with one of the best tech trainers on the planet. So Maggie's our regional tech trainer for New England, and KT is our market center tech trainer for 463. And he's Thursday. We'll get there Thursday when he teaches. Maggie every Monday at 2:30. Tech Your Business to the Next Level. That's today at 2:30. The link to register for today's session is in the morning news. 3 o'clock, right behind that. Tiffany Hampton, another MAPS coach. And she's got a phenomenal program called 24 and 25 within her system of Agent 365. Her goal as a coach is to create 1 billion millionaires. She's got some outrageous number of millionaires she wants to create. And you could be one of them. A phenomenal coach with a great plan. And what she put together for us, 24 and 25, really is it's a productivity playbook. Like, what should I do next? When you guys get here, you're always asking, what should I do next? So the productivity playbook she created took all of the things in KW and really put them in one place. So to follow that roadmap, you could say, well, hey, I wanted to do 24 deals in 2025, or I want to do 24 deals in 25 weeks. Now, it's about to flip, obviously, and we're running out of time. And I've told her, is she changing it to 25 and 26 next year? We don't know. I'm sure she'll rebrand it. That's today. That coaching conversation is today at 3 o'clock. And the link for that is in the morning news. It's all in the morning news. You get that every day around 7:15. That's your menu for the day of what's available. Right next to that, you need to reserve a conference room. That's in the morning news. You need to sit with KT. That's in the morning news. You want to book time with me? That's also in the morning news. So I guess what we have to ask ourselves as we get started today, or as you head into your week, is what do you want this to look like? Because we're December 28th now, right? If you look in the morning news. So we're about to get into the fourth quarter. And I'm not saying that there's only a few more days left to close stuff that's going to close this year. Historically, if you're sitting at a kitchen table, it could take about 45 days to find your buyer and about 45 days for them to put it under. So that's why we always talk about 90 days. Because we're seeing now that things are sitting a little bit longer sometimes. Because we're seeing that some sellers aren't listening. Not to us, but to the marketplace. Because our job is to go sit at the kitchen table and present market data. And our historical knowledge, obviously. And to guide them to success. Because not everybody's looking like, hey, just get me a buyer. We got to go. Like, hey, you know what? It's our second home. I'm in no rush. I really want the right buyer, and we really need to net X. And that still doesn't matter sometimes, because if the region, if the area, if the marketplace isn't going to give you X, maybe you don't sell, or maybe you make the price improvement that you need. Here's what we know. It is impossible in any market to underprice a home. And now listen, if the house is worth 1.7 and you throw it on for $300,000, let's not be maniacs. You know what I mean. When we go in at market or a little bit below, dare you, inherently you're going to net up. And you'll put your seller in a better position than they would have been if they shot for the sky. And then they start to march the market down. And everybody just sits and waits. Like, yep, 4:45 on Friday. Lindsay's about to make another price improvement. If we wait 7 more weeks, we'll get the price we wanted. Real estate is not about a race to the bottom. It's about taking care of our consumers and our clients because we listened to their goals. Because we understood what was important to them. And sometimes the words that they're firing at us don't make sense to them unless we repeat it back. It's such a great line. So, Mr. Lindsay, if I hear what you're saying, you would like boom and boom by this and that, so you can do this and that. And they're like, yeah, okay. And you get a verbal agreement on that. And then you get a written agreement on that. That's called a contract. And contracts can be changed. Minds can be changed. Maya Angelou. People rarely remember what you said. They will remember how you made them feel. It's not about us talking or about us selling ourselves, our brand, our process. It's about how they felt when they were with us, the experience we create for them. People grow into the conversations you create around them and through them. If they're curious and they have no idea what's going on, you're going to do a lot of talking. You're going to be informing them. But it's after you ask them the next question. Great leaders don't have all the answers. We have all the questions. We stay curious. We continue to peel that onion to find out what's important, why it matters. And the 3 best words on planet America, should we choose to be successful in this venture, is tell me more. Just let them talk. I promise you nobody else is doing that. Everybody else is so friggin' worried about getting them to sign and move on and let's get this done. Let's slam dunk this deal. That's not what this is all about. This is about making people feel heard and cared for. So when the time comes and their friends ask, hey, we're about to list our home. When you sold, who was that? How was that? What did they do differently? Would you use them again? And honestly, the best answer coming from your client could be, I'd absolutely use them again. And you have to meet them. It's not necessarily what they did, it's how they did it. They were care-filled. You're going to ask people, when you're looking for your next real estate agent, what are you looking for? And these are questions we should absolutely ask, because they will give you the lead indicators of what they define as success. And they're going to say punctual and negotiations and honesty and all these other words. First and foremost, are you that person? And second, you become that person by being the best version of yourself, by staying curious. You've never asked somebody, and if you've done this enough, maybe you have, and please let me know. You've never said, hey, what are you looking for in a real estate agent? Well, we'd love a massive ego, a European sports car, and lots of content on their Facebook page all about them. Hello? Yeah, that's not that's not what's happening. In this age of ego, they want someone who will put them first. They want honesty in this industry. This will be, for most, the biggest transaction of their life. And if they've bought and sold before, just because the market is what it is, it will still be the biggest transaction of their life, unless they are right sizing from an $8 million house to a tiny cottage on the pond. So how will we show up? We're going to screech in on two wheels, tell them how great we are, and then try to convince them to sign? Or are we going to stay curious, listen, understand, plan together with them, and make it undeniable they would never use anyone else ever again? If you're just getting started, or if you're hitting reset this morning, or if you're starting to put your 2026 plan into motion because you joined us a couple of weeks ago at the business planning clinic, or you've already done your business plan, or you're just ready for a reset, no matter what you're going through, your conversation today, and we have to remember this in the age in which we live, your conversation today might be the only verbal outreach some of these people get from anybody outside of their spouse, partner, cat, or dog. Everything else is a text or a direct message or an email. But when they hear your voice and you say, Julie, I'm so glad I caught you. I'm so sorry it's been so long. I was thinking about you and Doug. I trust you had a great weekend. How are the girls? How are you? Ask yourself, when do you think the last time somebody said that to her and was sincere? Do it with sincerity and watch what happens. She's not going to be like, oh my God, you're so nice. We had no intention of moving. We're really happy with the school system the girls are in, but you were so nice on this call, Timmy. We're going to list. That's not the point. The point is compounding interest of great care-filled conversations over time and being for them and with them emotionally over time will bring them back to you when they're transactionally ready. The conversations you will have today are building blocks. And when you get to the point where you're just okay that today's just another bunch of conversations that will be building blocks and stacked over time, like seeds planted, I will eventually have a garden of greatness that I can walk through and say, that one's ready, that one's ready, that one's ready. Not rush out when I realize I haven't done any work in my field. I haven't worked my farm demographically, geographically, and then I'm going to run out with a hose and some water and 4 seeds and be like, why am I not winning? Because this isn't about us. This isn't about when we're ready. It's about showing up consistently over time so you're automatically there when they're ready. There's a lot of work in what I just said. And those of you who are in that work, you know, you're nodding right now. Some of you are like, there's a lot of work in what he just said. Yes, and think of the magic of what we get to do every day, what it really boils down to, what we get to do every day. You've got friends in corporate America driving into their jobs, and they might be thrilled with their big office and their parking spot and their paycheck. But when it gets down to it and they sit at their desk or they walk into their room or they're with their people, they're miserable. Because they're not really in the arena in which their gifts are celebrated. And I'm not saying that about all your friends, but you've got a friend. You know, you're thinking about them right now. And the sad thing for them is they're driving into work thinking they have to go to work. We get to come and play, to check on our friends every day, to meet new business owners every day, to help new investors every day, to find that young couple who's about to buy their first place, rent their first place, start the journey, talk to a lender, understand the process, and you get to be the nexus of all of that. Should we choose to do the next right thing and pick up the phone and find out who you know and who they know that you should know? Build your business through the people that you know and love and trust. Help them let you find more people that you can know and love and trust. And watch how this becomes joy-filled for you. One of our members of the ALC, and I've heard this from other veterans, and she pounded it home in the last 6 months. She was in here talking to me and she said, you know, Timmy, it's not that I don't enjoy, obviously, the profitability of what we do. Nobody's leaving their house to go do anything to not be profitable. 0.0 people are doing that. She said, I've reached the point in my career where the high for me is watching them win, not going to the bank. So to be paid handsomely, commensurate with the work that you've done, and yet that's the background music. Watching her people win is what makes her want to go do it again. Can you find your joy in this? Can you take a little time to think about what truly makes you happy and deliver that message? Because that will draw people like you back to you. Don't be something that you're not. Don't be afraid of who you are. And deliver that goodness into the market in which we serve. We don't work here, we serve here. And we don't buy, sell, and invest. We help people make decisions about what's appropriate for them and their loved ones at the time. And we do that by showing up. This will be on the quiz later. Consistently. What can you do to be consistent today? What can you do to be care-filled today? And what can you do that will fill your heart at the same time? If I can help, let me know. It is 603-834-2856. You can also book my face at meetwithcoach.com. I'll see you in and around the market center. And of course, on the internet. Take care.